Tammy says, hi, Andrea. Thanks for this opportunity. Would you please explain how you have used tiny undies and trainers with and without pre-fold successfully with a newborn? It seems most folks use disposable or cloth diapers, yet you have mentioned the benefits of the undies. I can see how this might work better for older babes, but I'm unclear to what degree this might work for a young baby. Okay. I heard a story from one of our readers years ago that she said in India that her mother and everybody she knows, they use these very small underwear up until the time that the baby is competent or able to crawl. And they use that as a backup because that's just what they have. And then it seems to help them be aware of what they're doing because they don't have, you know, this big diaper that will absorb it all. So there's one extreme of things. I've known a couple of people who've done EC with no diapers at all. I like to use training pants. Well, sometimes I accidentally forget the diapers and need to use trainers. And my tiny trainers are great because they do hold a full pee, although it will get on the pants, but I'm working on a pull-up cover. It should be ready, oh God, whenever. I have a 9-week-old. It'll be ready when it's ready. But the training pants alone can be really helpful if they're not really helpful at this age, though. Let me tell you why. Okay. No matter what the brand, you all know that I have tiny undies. They're definitely for EC. You all know I have tiny trainers. They're definitely for EC. With a newborn, generally you're going to be changing them laying down. Okay. So having undies and trainers at this age is going to be hard. Okay. I wouldn't recommend it because they're just laying there and it's hard. When baby starts to crawl, specifically when baby starts to pull up and creep and prefers to stand and starts fighting the diaper change, if you're pretty much 100% successful with poop catches at this point, full permission to change to something like trainers or undies. Now, the benefits of the undies are when you're toilet training a 2 or 3 or 4-year-old, because the undies are the exact opposite of diapers. In fact, no undies, commando, is the exact opposite of diapers. They've been in diapers so long that they're used to them. So undies in that case are useful. For a 12 to 18-month-old who's walking, who's wrapping it up, becoming independent, who has the occasional miss, and you guys are still a team working on EC and doing stuff, even if you're completely dry in the day, you're still working together. They're resisting diaper changes on the ground, so you stopped using diapers. You're now using something that is more appropriate to that stage. You're pulling them up. So they are using undies or trainers only. They're no longer being laid on the ground and changed. At that point, I recommend tiny trainers or training pants of your choice. The reason is because they haven't been in diapers so long that their training pant is going to feel like a diaper to most of them. And even if you get a bigger size, they'll be a little bit looser. Those are going to be helpful. And they're going to be helpful because you're not going to get pee all over your floor if there is an accident or a miss, and or in your car seat or wherever. And the pants will probably get wet, but the training pants will keep it from being an outright disaster. 12 to 18 months, my daughter was completely independent. She was out of diapers at 13 months, completely independent at 15 months, telling us pee every single time. She was amazing. The fact that we were so part-time with her, where we felt like we weren't doing any EC from like 4 to 8 months, is amazing that she finished that well. With her, she went straight into undies, and my tiny undies had just come out, so they fit. So with her at 15 months, she was wearing tiny undies because she was reliable and told us every time. Cooper still wears tiny trainers to preschool because they don't like it when everything gets all wet. Totally fine. At home, if he's having a day where he's teething and he's having a hard time, I put on tiny trainers on him because I know that he's going to not use it as a toilet, but it will be a good backup for us. And he is so laid back, he could care less if he's wet. He'll pee through anything. He does not care. He doesn't poop through anything, but he'd pee through anything. So Tammy and everybody else, look at your situation. Look at your needs for cleanliness in your house. Look at what age and stage your child is in, and then determine the backup that works best, and you can experiment. Get a 3-pack of undies, get a 3-pack of trainers, try them out, different configurations. You can put a cloth diaper cover on top of the trainers until I get my pull-up covers. You can, that way you don't have to lay them down to do a cloth diaper. You can pull up the trainers and then put the cloth diaper cover on top of them. You can even pre-snap it and then pull it up, okay? But for newborns, I don't recommend a pull up, pull off because it's kind of hard to deal with unless you're out and about all the time, in which case you're holding baby like I was just holding Branson and you're pulling them off while standing. But if they're wet, they're going to kind of stick and it's going to be hard. It's like getting taking a wet bathing suit off or putting a wet bathing suit on. If you ever try to do that, it's impossible. So with a newborn, it's different. The benefits of the undies is really with 2, 3, 4-year-olds when we're training, toilet training, because they're so used to diapers. So with a newborn, you can absolutely use undies and trainers, and I make them in 6-month sizes because some people do choose to do that. I have found that it's a little bit harder to use them because of the mechanism. Developmentally appropriate use of undies and trainers usually is around the time where they're resisting diaper changes, pulling themselves up, and needing to be changed standing up. So that's my answer to that. And you could try anything and let us know what happens.